Hi, this is John with Photography Focused, a YouTube channel for Dustin on photography. Welcome to my web channel, and I'm going to be doing a lot of videos on photography. If you like photography, I hope you'll subscribe and you'll like this channel, because I'm going to be coming up with some really cool videos. For instance, I'm actually, my very first episode is going to be night photography. And it's something I started out with probably 5 years ago, and that really helped me out in my photography. And the thing is, with photography, it's all about light, and there's nowhere better to learn about light than it's in the dark. Yes, it sounds crazy, but it really helps you out with any other photography, because it gets you into shooting manual modes, and controlling shutter and ISO and aperture. So it really helps you understand light, because you wouldn't believe that when you're shooting in the dark, you can actually, if you do it properly, you can get a really nice picture just by in the dark. And what that is, it's called a long exposure. So that's how I started off. And I started off with a Canon 7D, I believe it was, and I upgraded to a Canon 5D Mark III. Shot with that for quite a while doing night photography. And I also have a Canon 7D Mark II, but we're not going to be doing night photography with either of those. We're actually going to be doing it on a cell phone. Yes, that's correct. And this is the LG G4. So, because we're going to do cell phones, because technology has advanced so much, especially with these cell phones these days, that they have a manual function just like a DSLR would. Yes, they do. Well, there's only a few cameras, there's not a lot of them. The LG G4 has it, the Samsung S6 and the Samsung S6 Edge Plus, well, boy, it's a mouthful, both have this functionality. And I'm not sure if the Note 5 does, but that's one thing I'll check, because when I go back to the store, I will go and I'll check that out. The Note 4 I actually own, and that does not have it. And iPhones don't have it either. Sorry, they're iPhone users. I believe the new iPhones, or none, I haven't seen any iPhones that I know of that have this capability. They all seem to be just point and shoot. So I ain't going to be focusing on which one is better. I'm just going to show you how to use it. Now, there's a big difference between this phone and the Samsung's, is that the long exposures, you can go to 30 seconds. Samsung's, to Samsung phones, you can go for 15 seconds. That's perfectly fine and dandy. Not one's going to be better than the other. Well, actually, this one's going to be a little better than the Samsung's, because this one actually shoots RAW, which that means it allows you to capture all of the image and keep all the artifacts within your pictures. And then you can, and its mainly purpose is not, like I said, it's not going to give you a better picture, but it's going to allow you to edit that photo and then edit with all the artifacts that's in that image. So that way, especially with like noise reduction, it's really good for noise reduction. I ain't going to go into in depth of editing. That would be a whole episode itself. But especially when you shoot at night, this is what it does. It causes what we call noise in your images. And they got all these little dots, and some of them can even turn red. Then noise reduction happens to help out a whole lot when you're processing. So. So that's the main difference that I know of at this point in time, is that there's a time frame difference. Samsung's 15, these are 30. There's an LG phone that's going to be coming out. It's called the V10. I think it's coming out sometime November. So I'm going to cover each one of these phones. The LG G4, I'll get the Samsung 6S Plus, 6 Edge Plus, I think it is. And then when the LG comes out, the V10 comes out, I'll do that one. But one thing is, I found out just recently that the LG V10, for all you videographers out there, that's actually going to be the first camcorder or video you can do from a cell phone in manual. So you'll be able to set all your settings just like you would with a DSLR. So that's going to be really cool. I'm looking forward to that, because that would be real beneficial to me at some point in time. So yeah, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go on location. I'm going to record me doing the actual shoot itself, and what settings you use and why, and what effects you're going to get with one setting versus the other, and we'll go from here. So I'm going to step out from here and go on location, and then we'll set up to take the shoot from there. Alright, so here we are. I'm on location, and I'm using my little handy dandy cam, so sorry for the audio. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of background noise and whatnot, but I just want to give you a bird's eye view of what we're going to be taking pictures of tonight with my cell phone. Now it's really dark where I'm at, and hopefully you'll be able to see my camera, which you should. Alright, so here I am. I'm at my camera on my cell phone. I just got a little tripod here. It's going to probably be hard for you to see it, but I'll do the best I can so you can see it. But I'm sitting really low to the ground just because it's a real nice angle. And I'll do a conclusion video, and I'll show you the tripod, and I'll show you my little adapter that I have here. It's just my camcorder here is not the best in low light, but it's fine. So here I am on my camera on my cell phone, the LG G4, and I have several modes here. I have simple, auto, and manual. Okay, the one I want to focus on is manual. So, and then because I'm on manual, I'm able to set the ISO. And forgive me here, I got this little band here. It's in my way, so let me just move that over here. Alright. So, it has my ISO. And what I got it set to right now is 50. I'm not sure if you can see that. There you go. It's 50. And I'm going to keep it at 50, but it has the ability to go really high. So it's like 2700 ISO. I really don't want to do that because with long exposure, because that higher the ISO, the more brighter your image is going to be. So I want to keep it down as low as I can because I'm going to go for a very long shutter. So how I do that is I go and I set it here. So right now this is for, and you can see it as it's kind of getting darker, how it's going to look. Because if I shoot this at 1/250th of a second, the shutter is just going to open and close real quick. It's not going to allow any light in. So what we want to do, we want to make it long. Okay, so I have the, like I said in the video, I have the ability to go all the way up to 30 seconds. And also too, that I'm going to see if I can get this close up. This lens, the aperture on it is 1.8, so that's very fast. The lower the number, the faster the aperture is, and what that does, it allows a lot more light into your photo. That's why nowadays a lot of these cameras are really good in low light situations because of the aperture, because that aperture is wide open. It's always wide open. So I can't change that, but what I can change is the ISO and shutter. So far as, let me get back to the actual aperture. Normally with situations like this, if I'm shooting night photography, I'm not going to shoot it fast. I'm actually going to shoot it with a slower aperture. Probably around, start off like 5.6 and 5.11, and sometimes even up to 22, depending on how long I want to shoot it. Because I want it to gradually get that image and have it go over long periods of time. And you usually do that with a very long, if you're going to do a very long exposure for like 5 minutes, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, or something like that. So, and that's where it kind of gets tricky. It all depends on what you actually want to shoot. So, and how you want to do it. It's just trial and error. There is no rules. There's no right way, no wrong way, or anything else. So,
So that's it. And there's just I'm not sure if I'm going to be here. There's two cops sitting over here. I'm going to pan over to there, and hopefully they're not going to say anything. The only thing I'm doing over here, it just makes me a little nervous. I'm not sure if they see me, but I'm just recording on the hill, on the street. And these times, a lot of times when you do this, and when I'm doing night photography, I always get stopped because I'm always, you know, with the big tripod, and people, you know, cops are intrigued by people standing around, and they always ask you what are you doing and whatnot. So they're actually gone, so that's cool. So back to, sorry about that it was just a little freaky for a brief minute there. So again, the aperture's at f.18, and so I can't change that. So it's gonna, my exposures are not gonna be very, very long. So I'm gonna probably start off like, let's try like 2 seconds. All right, so once I set that, I set my ISO. ISO is set to 50. It's a 2-second shutter, and it's at actually f.18. So here we go. Just hit the button, right, and it's taking a photo, and boom, it's done just like that. So there you go. And see, and I'll flash this up there in the video so that way you can see it. And what we're trying to do is we're trying to get these little these light trails of the cars going by. So I actually got it here just a little bit, but I want to get a little bit more. Again, it's just trial and error, and I like the way it looked. I can make it a little bit brighter by going a little bit longer, which I'm going to do. I'm going to go like 4 seconds. And I'm going to wait for some traffic to go by, and then I'm going to just hit the button, and the car's going by at the perfect time there. And let's take a look at the image. Yes, so this is really good because I got a start trail. It starts all the way from beginning to the end. I got a car that's kind of just sitting here, right, stationary, so you get the idea of something moving and stationary. So it's really, really cool. Again, I'm just going to pan around so that way you can see. This is all I'm taking pictures of. But yet, and with this is just a cell phone, and you're not knowing how to understanding the aperture and everything else. It's very easy to learn and shoot with your cell phone with night photography, because you can just sit here and play around with these settings. You can make it long as you want, short as you want, and they said it don't matter. It's instantaneous. Now there's only one car sitting over here, but I don't see there. I see some start trails and such, but you know, heck, like I said, again, it's just fun. I mean, it doesn't. You just keep going until you find the picture that you want. And you just sit there and, you know, because there's stuff's moving around, and you're getting those light trails. Oh, sorry, I wasn't paying attention. So it's done. And that was blurry, so I did not focus it. So it didn't grab focus on anything. So I'm gonna go and grab focus on these motorcycles over here. Right? So, and that's a good thing. I mean, it actually shows that, you know, mistakes do happen and it don't matter. And I'm not sure, there it is. It's not bad, but it's not great either. So, and you can see by here, I'm shooting DNG, that's RAW. And I'm actually going to change the shutter down to, so I like it just a little bit darker. And, oh, wrong one. I want to take the picture, sorry. So here we go. And let's see what we got, because there's some cars coming around this way. So there you go, that's kind of cool. I like that, because I got the light trails of the cars coming instead of going. And it's pretty good. So that's it. That is night photography on a cell phone. Again, I'm going to be testing the LG G4, the Samsung Note Edge Plus, I think it is, and then the LG V10 when that comes out. So, and like I said, it's pretty easy. Anybody can do this, and it's also a lot of fun. And you can, once you do this for yourself, you can show them off to your friends, and they'll be wondering, how in the heck did you get that? What kind of camera do you have? You must have a good camera. And then you tell them it's all taken on your cell phone, and you can say, eat your heart out, iPhone. So So yeah, it's kind of bragging rights, but also it's really cool. And I'll show you my tripods too. I'll show you the gear that I use for this in my conclusion video, because it's just too dark where I'm at right now. So, but anyway, I'm gonna end this here, and then I'm gonna head back to the office and finish up the rest of this video. So here I am. I'm gonna do the conclusion of my video of cell phone photography at night. So I just want to give you an idea of the equipment that I used. Just because in that video it was kind of hard to see exactly what I was using and how I was using it. So I'm going to put this in the frame here. Oops, sorry. So I'm just going to try and turn this around so that way you can see it. So let's see. There you go. So you can see that this right here is the adapter that I have, and yes, I'm holding it down with a ponytail holder just because because it's kind of loose the way it was, because this phone is kind of beveled edged on the back, so it don't fit real well. If you got a square edge, it'd be really good. And I think I got this on, I think eBay or Amazon or something like that, and I think it was less than 20 bucks. So, well, probably with shipping. And this is a Manfrotto tripod. This is my Manfrotto. It's a ball head on there, and like I said, you don't need a fancy dancy tripod for this, but I just happen to have it because of my DSLRs, and I needed it because I have an old El Cheapo Vivitar that I bought from Walmart some 20 years ago, and I wasn't comfortable with having this camera on there. It's the Canon 5D Mark III, and I just wasn't comfortable with having it on the tripod just because of the expense of it, and not only the expense but the stability of the tripod, and that thing kind of goes in all different directions. You can go real low to the ground, you can get to about, just several feet off the ground, and that's kind of really cool. And you can have it real high and whatnot, but it's got a real versatility. And I think I spent close to $200, and this is the Manfrotto 290 is the model number that I got. So I picked it up in my local photography store because I wanted to check it out. I didn't want to order it and have it shipped here and all that stuff because I wasn't 100% sure what I wanted to get, and I didn't want to spend a whole lot of money. So anyway, so that's, you need your cell phone, the little adapter thing to connect it to your tripod, and a tripod. So that's pretty much it. I hope you enjoyed this video. Again, sorry, I'm using two different cameras here, so the video quality may be different, and I'm also using a lavalier mic where I didn't use it when I was on location. I just didn't feel like trying to handhold my 7D Mark II because I don't have IS, and I don't have, so that's why I was using this actual camera. It's just a El Cheapo. I would say it's El Cheapo. It was pretty expensive for what it is, but it actually is working out. So I'm going to see if I'm going to keep this or not. So that way when I go on locations, I can just use this. And I'm not sure if I would get better. I probably would get a better performance with my my DSLR at night. But again, I was hand holding it, and so we'll see. I'll test it a little bit, but I just want to test this out as well to see if it's something I want to use, or if I want to continue using my DSLR on location. So anyway, that was a little bit tangent going on that, but anyway, don't worry about it. So anyway, I hope you liked this video, found it informational, found it fun, and please do me a favor, like it, subscribe. If you didn't like it, please let me know, because I'm going to be making a whole lot of videos, and your input is greatly appreciated. So again, I'm going to sign off, stay focused, and keep shooting.